Okay. No, what is that? What does that remind you of?
A bird?
No. Come on, it's a movie.
No, I don't know.
You don't know what it is?
Max Fish?
It's cold in here.
Oh my God.
Must be some in the atmosphere.
Woo.
You're a Taurus.
Here's with the oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. We're about to make chamoy. I know you guys are excited. So hello and welcome for this one because you guys have been asking me for the popular Mexican street snacks and I'm going to give it to you. But I can't give it to you if I don't show you how to make some chamoy. If you guys don't want to make the chamoy, that's okay. My favorite brand to use for chamoy is Mega. It's just perfect. It's a little bit sweeter. It's not so sour. But the one I'm going to show you how to make right now, chamoy, it's a sweet, tangy, sour syrup. And you can make it as runny or as thick as you want. So if you're interested to learn how to make chamoy, please keep watching. Okay, I'm going to have the recipe at the end. It's going to be a little bit longer because I know you guys mentioned that the clips at the end are blocking it. So I'm going to make sure to correct that, but I will be giving you guys the recipe in detail at the end. I'll be quick here to show you guys the ingredients that you need. You need Jamaica, and Jamaica is a hibiscus flower. When you guys, if you guys don't know where to find them, you find them often at Mexican markets. That's where I purchase it, and I want you to take a smell because as soon as you smell it, it's sweet and sour, and it's the flavor of chamoy. We have some dried prunes. Yes. Are they plums or prunes, Cloud?
They're plumes.
Plumes? Girl, what are you speaking? Cloud needs to wake up today.
They're plums, girl.
They're dried plums, guys, okay? They look a little bit like this. You're going to ask me, can you substitute for raisins? You can make it comfortable for your home, but it's going to change the flavor profile for the chamoy drastically. Another one that we're going to need is we're going to need dried apricots. These are a must in here. There's no alternative. If you want to make this recipe, make sure you get dried plums. Tamarindo is optional. I add it because I love tamarindo. You guys have heard me talk about it, and it looks like this. So what I've done is I've already cracked it, peeled it, and I've taken the seeds out. Okay, you're going to need sugar, salt, a little bit of chili powder, and pepper is going to be optional. I spice it up with a little bit of pepper. If you guys are going to make it spicy, it's going to be up to you what you decide to use. But the hot sauces, if you put them in here, it's going to change it to make it for a different dish. So you just want to stay neutral so that whenever you make your antojitos mexicanos, which means your Mexican snacks, you can adjust it to whatever dish you're making or snack that you're making, okay? So I
have a quick question for you. Would you add dried chili or like a fresh chili? If you want.
I would say dried chili.
Okay.
For sure.
So like a chile de árbol or something
like a chiltepín, chile de árbol, cayenne pepper would work.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Because if you keep it fresh, it changes the dynamic of what we're doing. Okay. So let me go ahead and take you guys to the stovetop so that we can go ahead and get this started. Okay, in here I have 3 cups of water. On your end, you can use 2 to 3 cups, and you're gonna have to adjust. After you make it the first time, you're gonna feel more comfortable, and you can adjust to your liking. So what we're gonna add our sugar. Mix that a little bit. We're gonna add our Jamaica, our hibiscus flower, prunes, dried plums, apricots, salt, chili powder, your pepper. Salt and pepper here. Salt and pepper here. Give that a quick mix. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring this to a boil. Once it boils, you're going to turn it down to a medium heat, medium low, depending on your stovetop. And we're gonna let this boil for about 20 minutes. So in 20 minutes, I will come back and see so we can get to our next step. It's already looking lovely in there. Okay, it's been 20 minutes for us, and what we're gonna do now, we're gonna blend, and all you're looking for is for your plums, your apricot, and your Jamaica to be softened, because we're about to blend this delicious combo. What I want you guys to do before you blend it is I want you to taste the broth in here, and if it's sweet enough for you, it's gonna work out perfect. If it's salty enough for you, it's gonna be perfect. This is a time where you wanna adjust slightly And I mean, don't go ham. If you want more sugar, start off with half a tablespoon. And if you want salt, a pinch, if that. Because this is pretty right on. Oh, bendito, que rico.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, whoa. What you're not going to be looking for right now, you're not looking for tartness at all. You're just looking for sweet and the salty flavor to be balanced. So let's go ahead and start blending. When you're pouring your content in your blender, I want you guys to be very, very careful. It is very hot. So even if you have to scoop it up a little bit at a time to get all the fruit in, go ahead and then pour the liquid. Just be very careful because it's super, super hot, guys. Okay, so the blender that I'm using is a Ninja Professional 1000 watts. I'm gonna let a little bit of that heat out. I want you to be very careful when you're blending. I'm gonna start off with a low and then I'm gonna go to high and I'm gonna blend it for about 3 to 4 minutes. If you guys have a different blender that's not so fast for you guys or sharp, then you might wanna blend it a little bit longer, maybe add 2 to 3 minutes extra. All right, let's hit it. Okay, so after you blend it, you want to put it back on the pot that you used to boil all your ingredients. Okay. I still want you to be very careful. It is scorching hot in here. Make sure that when you're holding onto your blender, that you're holding it by the handle because it is hot, hot, hot. You know I worry about you guys. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. Okay, so what we have going on here is we have a very thick paste. See if you guys can see it there. So at this point you got to figure out if you like this consistency or if you want a runnier consistency. If you like the runny, you can add another cup to 2 cups of water to dilute it. Or if you guys are planning on opening a stand to sell all these delicious treats, that's when you might want to add like 2 to 3 cups of water and then adjust it to whatever your needs are. So what we're going to do here, we're going to continuously stir this chamoy and we're going to cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on a medium-low heat, okay? And you want to be careful because when it starts getting hot, it's going to start splashing and bubbling up, and those are the ones that splash on your face and everywhere else, so please be careful. If you guys don't want to do this step, you don't have to. You can, if you like the flavor that came out after you blended it, go for it, but for me, I like it a little bit more cooked. If you find that the tartness is too much for you to handle, then just use a little bit less of the Jamaica to your blend. I definitely recommend you guys doing this on a non-stick pan. It's going to be a lot easier for you guys to clean up and to keep it from sticking at the bottom, and you end up with more of your content. If you use the other cast iron, it's not going to work. I mean, it will work, but it's just you're gonna lose a lot of the content. Okay, so now that it's been about 3 minutes for me, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. And this is where you want to add your citrus. If you're gonna use lime, key lime, lemon, it's gonna be up to you guys. For me, key lime works best for this. So I'm gonna start off with 1 key lime. On your end, I would say start off with half, stir it in, and then check if you like the sourness and the sweetness that comes through. And if you need a little bit more, then just add gradually. As I mentioned, the tamarind is optional, and at this point I like biting into my chamoy with the full pieces of tamarind. So I've already peeled, took out the seeds, and I'm going to be adding it to our...
If you want a finer tamarindo without biting into it, do you blend it at the same time with everything?
I would blend it at the same time with everything, yeah.
Okay.
If you want to purify it in here, you can get that tamarindo flavor and blend it all together. But the reason I don't add it in when I'm boiling it, because when you cook tamarindo, it gives you a different flavor. Yeah. And I like biting into that chewiness. And the kids do too. Yeah. Well, you saw Bebe when I was like peeling them. So just make sure that you're mixing that lime juice well in here, and then I'm going to give it a taste, and then you guys can just adjust for your taste buds. I give you guys starter recipes so that you can make them comfortable for your home. I really appreciate all the Views Club giving us all recommendations. But just understand that the reason I don't say some things on the channel is just because I want you guys to make it comfortable for your home and not to be discouraged to try recipes because you don't have a certain ingredient or because you can't consume it. When you guys are going to taste the paste, make sure you have like a wooden spoon. Even dip a little chopstick to taste it because the metal's it's gonna burn, guys, so be careful. Our chamoy is set. You're going to pick whatever container that you want to use. Make sure that you put it in the refrigerator. I would say use a glass mason jar. It's going to be easier to scoop it in and out, and that way it's not getting too contaminated. Another one that I really love to use is this little squirt bottle. But if you guys have an old bottle of the chamoy that you already purchased, go ahead and pour it in there. I like a thick one. Again, remember, if you want a runny one, just like the one I showed you, one of my favorites in the beginning of the video, just make sure you add a little bit more water to dilute it. And you guys are set. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you guys are excited for these new snacks coming up to our channel. All right, friends, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. This is how I make chamoy in my house whenever I run out of my bottle. And if you guys like these recipes, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Continue your requests down below in the comment section. I keep better track of them because it's getting difficult for me to keep track on IG. So the comments that you guys leave, those are the recipes that are going to be coming through. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and then click that bell for notifications. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Adios!